bringing the cavalry, and we have the element of surprise on our side.
U.S. Marshals and Sheriff's deputies crack down in 5 counties. Only Washington's Most Wanted cameras are there. A terrifying holdup inside a convenience store. Watch as the robber fires a warning shot. Let's get this threat off the streets tonight. Caught on camera, creeping around inside a family's home. And the scariest thing about it?
He is right next to, the nursery for our child.
Tonight, we'll give you a closer look at him so we can put this burglar out of business. Washington's Most Wanted starts now. Good evening, I'm David Rose, and thanks for joining us for Washington's Most Wanted, the show that helps bring fugitives to justice and gives a voice to victims. And tonight, we take you where no other program was allowed to go. The U.S. Marshals teamed up with sheriff's deputies in Mason, Lewis, Thurston, Grays Harbor, and Pacific counties to round up scores of dangerous fugitives.
They were actually, physically hiding kind of underneath the blanket in the living room.
A fugitive nabbed, under arrest on a theft warrant. Busted along with a convicted felon. Guns and drugs in the house, say deputies. And the two were lying low in this mobile home in Yelm, refusing to come to the door.
She admitted that she knew it was the police, she knew it was us, and she knew she had a warrant, and she didn't want to go to jail.
It's Operation 5-County Cleanup in action. 6 teams of U.S. Marshals, sheriff's deputies, and Department of Corrections personnel targeting hundreds of fugitives.
We know who we're chasing. We know the types of individuals and what they are wanted for. We're bringing the cavalry, and we have the element of surprise on our side.
Lanier says it's taken 8 weeks of preparation to get to this, the hunt. We hit a couple of locations in Lacey. Right now, the team members are talking to an occupant of the house. The fugitive they're looking for isn't here, but all of the information they gather gets them one step closer to tracking them down.
Hello, this is dispatch, and we're working at emphasis today. It's going to be 2,500 for harassment.
Support in the field comes from the command post set up in Thurston County. Teams call in every time they make an arrest on warrants from assault to possession of a firearm to theft, forgery, and burglary. U.S. Marshal Joe Hall says the operation helps counties where budgets are tight.
The long arm of the law is there, and we are going to bring them to justice, and they shouldn't get complacent and comfortable in their position, because we will come after them.
And that's exactly what these guys did all week, hauling off the most wanted and making our communities safer.
Sometimes we're successful, and sometimes we're not, but, this one turned out well.
Here are the booking photos of Adina Ann Heller and James Sutton Witt. She was arrested on a theft warrant. Both now face gun and drug charges. In all, Operation 5-County Cleanup captured 94 fugitives on charges including crimes against women and children, crimes of violence, and sexually motivated offenses. Now, this next guy's a real winner. The Department of Corrections says James Richard Felker uses his MySpace page to try to pick up girls. Scary, because he's a level 3 sex offender. On his layout, he lists what he calls his pets, pictures of women, and his friends, pages of scantily clad models. Felker claims he's a bouncer at a club. He's wanted for escaping custody, and Community Corrections Officer Jeff Brown says he's on probation for rape, domestic violence, and auto theft.
Mr. Felker goes by the name of Army Brat on MySpace, and if you come across the name, you definitely want to be careful and stay away from him.
So tonight, let's see if we can shut James Richard Felker down. He likes to hang out in Kent and downtown Seattle. He's 21 years old, 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighs 140 pounds, and has hazel eyes and brown hair. If you spot him or know where he is, call 1-800-222-TIPS. Nothing is more heartbreaking than a crime against a child. Tonight, James Lynch profiles a suspect that needs to be caught.
David, crimes against children are particularly heinous. That's why the Pierce County Sheriff's Office feels a special urgency to capture an alleged child molester. Take a look at the suspect. Several felony warrants have been issued for Dennis LeClef. He's 32 years old, 6'2", 180 pounds, with brown hair and green eyes. He is the suspect in the molestation of a 5-year-old child. He's known to frequent Puyallup, Eatonville, Ashford, and Spanaway. Police say he should never be left alone with a child.
Well, Dennis is wanted for lots of counts of domestic violence, and the scary part about him is child molestation charges stem from when he was babysitting a kid. So he's somebody we definitely want to get picked up, and we want people to be aware that's out there because we don't want children left around him.
Investigators believe if he's done it once, he's probably done it before and may do it again if he's not caught. If you know where they can find Dennis LeClef, pick up the phone and call the tip line. It's 1-800-222-TIPS. For Washington's Most Wanted, James Lynch, Q13, Fox News.
In this next case, the hunt is on for an armed serial robber in Tacoma. Cops say this guy has hit small stores at least 6 times this month. In his latest hit last week, they say he blasted a shot off in one of 2 robberies. In all of the robberies, the suspect enters the store, shows a handgun, and tells the clerks he'll kill them if they don't give him the money. If you know how to catch him, call Crime Stoppers. There's a $1,000 reward. Here's a fugitive the King County Sheriff's Office says is a bad guy. Not only is Alan Ray Lee a convicted felon, but cops say he bought a kilo of cocaine from an undercover cop, and now he has 2 drug warrants. Alan Ray Lee is 43 years old and is from South King County, including the city of Kent. He has no regular job. If you know where he is, call the tip line number on your screen. Tonight, the FBI has jacked up the reward for 4 alleged eco-terrorists with ties to Western Washington. $50,000 is now being offered for each of these 4 alleged members of a domestic terrorism cell known as the Family. Joseph Dibby, Josephine Overraker, Rebecca Rubin, and Justin Salons. All are under indictment for numerous criminal acts, including the 2001 firebombing at UW and the 1998 firebombing of this ski resort in Vail, Colorado. The FBI says they hope $50,000 is enough to convince someone to turn them in.
If there's somebody here who knows them, who knows where they are, they should just realize that these guys are going to get caught sooner or later anyway, and they can put $50,000 in their pocket if they help us do it sooner rather than later.
13 other members of the family have been captured already. Only these 4 remain at large. The FBI believes they're hiding outside the country, but they think someone here in Washington knows where. Anyone with information is asked to call 1-800-222-TIPS. For more information on all the fugitives we're featuring tonight, log on to our website, Q13Fox.com, and click on the Washington's Most Wanted logo. You can also find out how to keep your neighborhood safe and learn about sex offenders in your area. An intruder sneaking around in a Seattle home, and it happened while the family slept upstairs.
He kept saying, well, this is secret. This is secret. We don't tell anybody.
And scammed by someone they thought was a relative. Tonight, a sneaky scam that targets the elderly. How we can put a stop to it, coming up.